Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today is a special video. Two reasons. It's my last pre-season video because the season starts today. And it's also my final draft ready for game week 1. Hopefully you're locked in, you've done all your changes and your team is ready to go. If not, please do so. You don't want to miss the deadline. It's UK time 6:30. So get those teams locked in and the captaincies in place, vice captain, all that important stuff. Starting with the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson at 4.5 million is going to be my goalkeeper for game week 1. I looked at the Nottingham Forest keepers, but I'm not sure who's going to start. I do like their fixtures. And if I was going to spend more money, I might go to Pickford at 5 or Raya at 5.5. I think he's the best keeper. But I didn't want to spend too much money. I wanted a budget goalkeeper. So I'm here with Henderson. Looking at his fixtures, they're not too bad. Brentford away, West Ham at home. Yes, they could have been better. And he's predicted 3.2 and 3.34, which isn't ideal, but for a 4.5 million pound goalkeeper, and hopefully he surpasses those points and gets one clean sheet out of the two, I would take that. The Brentford game is a Sunday 2 o'clock kickoff, and the head-to-heads is a 3-1 win to Palace, and the rest are draws. Let's have a look at my defenders, starting with Trent, my favourite FPL asset ever. So many assists, so many goals, it's almost hard to believe looking at his stats. He's a right back. £7 million, he's gone down from last season due to a pretty poor season considering his standards, and also he was injured for a bit of it as well. But for me, he looks like the player to have in your team. I think he outscores the majority of the £7 million midfielders, so I'm really happy with that. Looking at Trent's fixtures, Ipswich away, a newly promoted team, and Brentford at home. Gorgeous two fixtures. Look at the predicted points, 4.6 against Ipswich and 4.56 against Brentford. The predicted points are taken from Scout membership area. Honestly, I've been using it this season. Incredible. It's got everything you need to help you improve, become a better FPL manager. If you are interested in joining, I've got a link in my description. The Ipswich fixture is a Saturday early kickoff. Honestly, the Premier League must be having a laugh because they knew how much Klopp hated it. Liverpool were always the early kickoff, and well, they've given Slot in his first Premier League game an early kickoff. The historical head-to-head data looks pretty good as well. The last game was a 1-1 draw, but the two after that was a 5-0 win and a 6-0 win. Let's hope Trent is involved in one of those goals for this upcoming weekend. As you can see, I've doubled up on the Liverpool defense. The 4.5 million Jarell Quansah was too difficult for me to miss. So cheap for a top 4 team, and he's an outstanding player. He's probably saved Liverpool 40, 50, 60 million pound in the transfer market. His emergence is incredible. To be benching a French international, Ibrahim Konate, that tells you how good he is. He's predicted points 3.49 and 3.37. Not bad at all considering he's a 4.5 million pound defender, and last season he got a couple goals in those limited minutes he did have. So he's very aggressive in the box. I'm more than happy to have him in my team. And the last defender in my starting team goes to Lewis Hall. Now again, another 4.5 million gem. Looks like he's going to start in that left back position for Newcastle. And when you add those fixtures, Southampton at home, Bournemouth away, two gorgeous fixtures. You couldn't pick better fixtures. His predicted points, 3.73 and 2.34. Not bad at all. You have to remember he's a 4.5 million pound defender. The Southampton game is a home game and it kicks off at Saturday 3 o'clock. The crowd's going to be buzzing. First game in the Premier League season. Eddie Howe's going to want to start real strong, and I'm hoping to get a return from him. Historical data, the head-to-heads, clean sweep for Newcastle. So again, a really good fixture for Newcastle this. Let's have a look at the midfield, and starting with Jota the Slotter. Now this guy we know can finish his dinner. We just need him to stay fit. Looks like he's had a good preseason, even played a 90-minute game the other day, which is a rarity for him. Slot is favouring him as the number 9. I heard an interview today, Gakpo saying Slot looks at him being the left winger, which means it's only him and Nunes, which is a fair battle, and I think Jota starts first. At 7.5 million, leading the Liverpool attack as a number 9. Out of position in FPL midfield, he's classified as, so more points for us. Impossible for me to refuse, even though I know in the back of my mind he might play 60, 65, 70th minutes when you've got Nunes on the bench. When you look at his predicted points, 5.01 and 4.9, that's 10 points over 2 game weeks. I'm really happy about that. More than likely he will surpass that, to be honest. It just takes one goal in one of those games and he's already surpassed it. The next midfielder is Bruno Fernandes at 8.5 million pound, playing very advanced for Manchester United at the moment, takes penalties, the captain, so the minutes are good, set pieces, he's ticking a lot of boxes. The fixtures as well, have a look at this. Fulham at home, so it's Old Trafford in the floodlights, first game of the Premier League season. It's a Friday night game, so everyone's going to be excited. The stadium's going to be electric. They're going to want to start the season really well. And the follow-up fixture is Brighton away. Again, a decent fixture. Bruno's predicted points, 6.15 for the first game and 4.97. That's a good start. If we were to get those points, I'll be more than happy for the first 2 game weeks, 10 points. We'll take that. My third midfielder is Nkuku at 6.5 million. He could turn out to be a bargain. I mean, he's a marquee player. We've just forgotten about him because he was injured for the majority of last season. But he's been playing this pre-season and looks really good. Sharpness is coming back, and Maresca does fancy him as a player. He's already spoken about how he's versatile, can play left or through the middle, so I'm hoping the minutes will be there. I mean, the first fixture is not ideal. Manchester City at home is not a good game. We all know this. But Wolves away, and then after that, the fixtures get even better. His predicted points, 3.31 and 3.94, which isn't ideal, but I'm hoping the second game can buff that ratio up. The historical data is a mixed bag for Chelsea, but one thing I will say, one of the games they had a lot of goals, 4-4, and we're hoping to see a thriller like this and Nkuku be on the end of a couple of goals. My fourth midfielder is Anthony Gordon at 7.5 million. Similar to Hall, the fixtures are gorgeous. I needed a midfielder from Newcastle and he ticks all the boxes. Southampton, Bournemouth, as I said, fixtures are gorgeous. Predicted points, 5.2 and 3.8. I think he'll surpass those points as long as he gets the minutes. That is the one threat with this pick, as he's come back from the Euros and he's only played one pre-season game. In fact, it was one half. That's the small risk here. He hasn't played much football in the Euros. He's come back to pre-season pretty late and only played one half, which does worry me slightly. Could play maybe 60 minutes, but I think after that he's very young, very fit. Last season is one of the players that covered huge distances, so I think he's going to be up to speed very, very quick. I really do fancy him in these 2 fixtures, so I'm willing to take the gamble here. Moving to up front, and you can see the first striker I've got here, the newly signed Spurs number 9. Dominic Solanke. Now I know about him. He used to play for Liverpool, he used to play for Chelsea, but unfortunately didn't get the chance. He went to Bournemouth and proved himself. He had a ridiculously good season, which has got him this move. I think at 7.5 million, he looks a beautiful way into Spurs' attack. Yes, I know Richarlison is there. Yes, I know he's just joined, so minutes at the start of the season might not be ideal. Maybe 70 minutes he could get taken off, but I'm still happy with that. The fixtures, Leicester away and Everton at home. 2 lovely fixtures for a Spurs team who are very attacking. He's currently predicted 4.63 and 4.71 for the first 2 games, which I'm happy with. I think he scores in one of those surpassing these predicted points. When you look at the historical data and the head-to-heads, there's always goals in this fixture. It's one of the main reasons I wanted something from the Spurs attack, and Dominic ticks that box. Have a look at this. 4-1 loss, 6-2 win, 3-1 win. I mean, there's goals in this game, so hopefully Dominic can bag a couple. Beside him is a £15 million attacker, Haaland. Last 2 years, he's actually destroyed the Premier League defences. They fear him, and rightly so. Look at his goal scoring ratio. Manchester City normally start the season pretty slow, so I was a bit cautious. I was thinking go without him and then jump back on him later on, but I just thought I'm going to make my life easy. Start with him and do the opposite. If he doesn't play well or City look bad or he gets injured, then move away from him instead of having to jump on him if he does something crazy. The fixture, Chelsea away and Ipswich at home. The second fixture is ridiculous. He's going to be captained by the majority of his owners. But Chelsea away is a decent fixture. They played each other recently in pre-season and they scored 3 goals. But Chelsea's defence at the moment is not looking great. I can easily see him scoring 1 or 2 goals. And the predicted points back that up. He's predicted 6.28 versus Chelsea and 8.58 versus Ipswich. And the last spot in my 3-4-3 is Isak. Very, very popular this year, and we can see why. I mean, he's been playing really well even in pre-season. He played excellent last season. In fact, the only doubt for me not owning Isak this season was going to be injuries, and he looks fit at the moment, so I'm really happy about that. £8.5 million for him looks lovely, especially when you consider the fixtures. Southampton at home, Bournemouth away. I mean, these are gorgeous fixtures. There's a reason I've got triple Newcastle. I like these 2 fixtures. Look at Isak's predicted points, 6.7 for the first game and 4.94. I think he'll beat that tally. A very popular pick, and I can understand if he's in your team, your mini league rivals team, and everyone's team. It makes sense. 8.5 million is underpriced. You need to have him in your team. Let's have a look at the substitutes. I've gone for Matthews in goal. Obviously, he doesn't play. Obviously, I've got Henderson who plays ahead of him. But a tip for you, don't ever pick a backup goalkeeper who doesn't play with high ownership. because if people start selling them, he's going to go down in price and you lose that 0.1 million. So that's a little tip there for you. First sub, I've gone for Smith Rowe, 5.5 million, the new signing from Arsenal to Fulham. He's had a great pre-season, already scored 2 goals in the 2 games. He's got a lot to prove. We all know he's a good player. He's not had a chance under Arteta, which is understandable with that team they've got there. Besides Smith Rowe, I've gone for a 4.5 million defender from Fulham, Robinson. I want to be able to rotate my 4.5 million pound defenders, and he looks like he's perfect for it with those lovely fixtures. And last up, Konsa. For similar reasons, Villa got gorgeous fixtures. He's 4.5 million, so I can rotate. I'll basically play 2 from the 3 beside Trent that have the best fixtures. The captaincy's on Isaac. I'm happy about that. Playing a newly promoted team at home. He's playing really, really well, taking penalties, ticking all the boxes again. I was thinking about Haaland, who's my vice captain, and also Jota, but maybe the minutes for Jota put me off a little. I hope you enjoyed that video, but more importantly, I hope you found the video useful. Please get in the comments and let me know how good my team is. I'm not scared if you slate it. Let me know if I'm going to have a green arrow or a red arrow. In fact, any glaring players I'm missing, please let me know in the comments. Before you jump off to your next video, do me a favor, like and subscribe and share the video, put your notifications on. I've got so much incredible content coming to help you this upcoming season. And the last thing I'm going to say, if you're still not sure about your draft, definitely watch this video on the screen now. It's got 5 players who I think should be considered for your Game Week 1 team.